Operation. The following section will cover all aspects of how to operate the 3030 and 3025 PM machines. The instructions given should be followed exactly for safe operation and predictable results. At no time should any operation procedure be ignored or modified unless authorized by STI. The quality results expected of the 3030 and 3025 PM machines can only be realized by following the procedures exactly as they are explained. If any questions remain about the operation after viewing the following, call your STI dealer or STI directly for clarification. Mistakes can be very costly and/or injurious to workers. Side-to-side operation. The 3030 and 3025 PM machines both feature a rotary gearbox design. This means that at any time the machine is running, there will be two grinding heads turning clockwise and two grinding heads turning counterclockwise. Also, because of the rotary design, the center of the machine will have an overlapping of tools, which causes the center of the machine to do more cutting than the outside edge. Because of the rotation of the tools during grinding or polishing and the overlapping cutting path, it is required to move the 3030 or 3025 in a side-to-side motion as demonstrated in the video. The machine is moved side to side to an approximate 20-degree angle of the forward motion and then moved back in the opposite direction. The machine is moved side to side in a smooth and controlled way while the machine is going forward or backward. Failure to operate the machine in this way will lead to what some call cornrows in the floor. The only time that a 3030 or 3025 PM machine can be moved in a straight line is when it is working against an edge like a wall or an obstacle. In cases of grinding or polishing next to an edge, the 3030 or 3025 must be moved in a straight line parallel to the edge going forward. Then move the machine out from the wall and walk backward, moving the machine side to side as demonstrated. Overlap, movement speed, and passes. The 3030 and 3025 PM machines must be moved over the floor in a disciplined way to give the tools time to cut thoroughly and evenly across the entire floor. In order to achieve a uniform grinding or polishing of a floor, the machine must do at least one pass over the floor with an overlap of 20%. A pass is defined as moving the machine forward and then backward over a given area of floor. Then upon completing the pass, the machine is maneuvered over to run parallel to the previous pass and overlap the preceding pass by at least 20%. As demonstrated, the machine is being moved side to side and forward in a controlled way. Then the machine is being moved side to side and backward in a controlled way. To properly overlap, the machine is maneuvered over to line up to the previous pass with an overlap of 20%. This is very important to be followed any time the PM machine is operated. Failure to do so could cause the floor to have ruts or rows or inconsistent removal of the flooring surface. In cases where a floor requires more than one pass, it is completely acceptable to do a second pass over the floor, but the same operation discipline must be followed as previously outlined. Speed of VSD. With the 3030 or 3025 PM machine in the operation position, the VSD must be set to the required operation speed. To adjust the speed, select either arrow up or arrow down to adjust speed between 30 Hz and 80 Hz. For the appropriate speed that is required based on application, it is recommended by STI that any operator with less than 80 hours of experience using the machines operate the machine at 35 Hz only for every application. As the operator becomes more experienced, it is completely acceptable for the machines to be operated at the full 80 Hz for certain applications. As a general rule of thumb, any metal tools can be run between 35 Hz and 50 Hz, and any resin tools can be run between 35 Hz and 80 Hz. Again, these are only guidelines, and the operator has the task of deciding when it is appropriate to use higher speeds. In any case, should any operator doubt exist, running the machine at 35 Hz for every step is completely acceptable. Starting procedure. Once the speed has been set, press the start button. The tools will begin moving immediately. Start slowly and then ramp up to the set speed. Anytime the tools are turning, they are cutting. For this reason, anytime the tools are turning, the machine must be moved as specified. Failure to do so will lead to damage to the flooring surface. Stopping procedure. To stop the PM machine, press the stop key. To properly stop the PM machine, it is required to first press the stop key, but keep the machine moving. Do not ever stop moving the machine and then press the stop key. This will lead to the floor being damaged by the tools cutting in one spot. Dry operation. In cases of dry grinding or polishing using the 3030 or 3025 PM machine, the machine can only be operated if it is connected to a dust collector. Failure to do so will create a safety hazard of airborne dust. To connect the dust collector to PM machine, attach 3-inch dust hose to the dust port on the PM machine. Before turning on the PM machine, the dust collector must be first turned on. Then the PM machine can be started. Wet operation. In cases of wet grinding or polishing using the 3030 or 3025 PM machine, the water tank must first be filled with clean tap water. Never add dirty water or any other liquids such as solvents or chemicals. Only water can be added to the tank. To prepare for machine startup, the operator must first depress the water lever rod to begin the flow of water to the cutting area. Once water is observed, the machine is started. As the machine is operated, water will need to be added frequently. As the video demonstrates, the amount of water being introduced is enough to keep the surface adequately wet and cause no creation of dust. If any dust is observed, then there is not enough water present. The most efficient way to do wet grinding or polishing is to have a helper that assists the operator. As this video demonstrates, the operator is moving the machine in a controlled way forward and backward to complete a pass. Notice how the helper is pushing the slurry into the cutting path of the operator as the operator begins the parallel path. By doing it this way, the water being consumed will be less than if only used for one pass. You will also notice that the slurry is only being pushed over approximately 80% of the cut path. By doing this, the helper is showing the operator exactly where the machine needs to be for its next parallel pass. About the slurry's reuse. It is completely acceptable to reuse the slurry as demonstrated, but only for the duration of any one step of grinding or polishing. At no time is it acceptable to reuse the slurry for differing grinding or polishing steps. The reason to not reuse the slurry is due to the expelled diamond chips in the slurry and other contaminants. When a given wet step has been completed, remove the slurry via wet vac or auto scrubber. Dispose of slurry according to all local and federal regulations. Never dump slurry into any storm drains, sanitary sewer systems, waterways or ponds, or directly on the ground. Machine storage. To store the 3030 or 3025 PM machine when not in use, it is always recommended to first place the machine in the safety off position and remove the tools. If at this point the cleaning activities have not been done, this is when all cleaning of the machine must be complete. Then tip the machine to lower grinding head to the floor. Wrap the cord around the motor to prevent it interfering with other trades or being damaged by adjacent work activities. In cases of storage where freezing temperatures are possible, be sure to empty the water tank and hose completely of water to prevent any damage to the water system.